In this SnowRunner Best Scout Showdown, I try to show you SnowRunner's best scouts, funnily enough. Get those air horns ready. Hello and welcome to yet another SnowRunner video. As I've said to a lot of you guys and gals in the comments, my plan is to make a video of every truck. But my 10 best truck roundup proved popular, so before that, here's my best scout truck showdown. The way I'll be doing this is going to be a little scientific because I want to find a winner in numerous categories because that's a fairer way to do things. That means all 10 scout trucks will be subjected to each different test, and that's why this video has taken a little longer, especially as we had a patch in the middle and the Hummer and Khan had some changes. Now I make these videos to be helpful and I love a passionate debate. But if your favourite truck isn't top, don't despair. It's a game and personal preference is everything, so do as you please. And obviously enjoy. Plus a lot of it is situational. What I will say though is that you absolutely should subscribe, like, comment and send me vast quantities of cash in the post. Nah, it's probably against the rules, but anyway. For each category, I have tried to ensure each truck is kitted out as closely as possible. It would take decades to do every permutation, so I have upgraded each scout with the best engine, either high range or SnowRunner gearbox, and raised the suspension as much as possible. I also removed add-ons to save weight, as the heaviest pickup stuff really slows you down. It's very noticeable actually. So by not using anything, the scouts in theory can shine brightest, and hopefully it'll be easier to see strengths and weaknesses. Another point, scenery in SnowRunner changes as you drive over it, so I reset it by loading another map, then returning. I also tried to drive similar lines, although this is impossible to replicate each time because each vehicle has different characteristics and I'm not a robot. As for the categories, each truck will be subjected to testing in mud, snow, water, deep water, ascents, stability, towing, tipping angle, and a drag race because fun and speed is cool. Not illegally though, obviously kids. Plus a look at customization, fuel consumption, versatility, upgradability, and standout characteristics, so you know why you would pick one scout over another, basically, because that's what this video is all about, and hopefully you enjoy watching. But then at the end I'll give a rating and verdict, so be sure to stick around. Plus I'm going to do more of my favourite recent YouTube comments at the end, because I actually really enjoy it, and it's nice to, you know, show what you guys are saying, I think. And that's why we have comments, eh? Now let's meet the contenders. Gladiators. Why, okay, yeah, my Scottish too.
Contender ready! 3, 2, 1!
It might be a starter truck, but should you overlook this American beast? No, you should not. Well, this is like Blind Date. Maybe I should do it in Cilla Black.
It might be a starter truck. Oh, it's awesome.
No, okay. Known in the real world as terrible for some reason, can the digital Hummer prove itself to be a worthy scout in the digital one? We all know I love this scout because I nicknamed it Loady McLoadface, which sounds gross. But can this heavy scout rule the day? Some people would say there are 800 reasons not to use the Scout 800, but are they fair in saying that? Does the Khan 39 Marshall, which you have to buy separately or as part of the SnowRunner Season Pass, have a no can do attitude? Get it? Don't know why I bother. Often known as the bread fan because loaf, the Khan LO4F is one of the weirder scouts, but does that stop it from being useful? Another scout I love, but can this cute old timer contend with the young whippersnappers? I love that word. It's got 8 wheels, the front 4 of which steer, and is heavily armoured, so it can't be bad. But are those things enough to take home gold? Named after a pirate, probably, the R87 is 6 wheels of large mud terrain conquering muscle. Is that enough to win though? And last, but not least, is the Don 71. Now, how bad can a scout truck be that sounds like it's part of the mafia? Yeah, I'll let you see. And yes, the final contender isn't a scout, because I wanted to show you how the big trucks compare with the little trucks. And so yes, the Tiger King will be partaking. Up first is the mud test. Despite the name, SnowRunner is absolutely full of mud, even snowy Alaska. That and a combination of few tarmac roads and usually needing to go off-road means I almost always fit mud tyres. Now to make this fair, I did multiple runs, starting with the high range for outright pace, but also with the off-road alternate, so trucks with engageable diff lock had more of a chance. Here's how each truck did to the sound of music. What's up? No, not that.
With the sound of music.
Another surface that can be a pain is snow, especially as chain tyres are inferior on mud compared to mud tyres, who'd have thought. They can also be worse on dirt, although they do beat mud tyres on tarmac and ice. Deep snow is the hardest to conquer, so it makes sense to test that for the most extreme results. Due to all the mud in Alaska, I fitted all Scouts with the largest mud tyres, and I also tried the SnowRunner or off-road gearbox, as well as the high range, because some trucks simply work best with one or the other. And the one I show will show the truck in its best light. steep ascents, the maps in SnowRunner are very unforgiving when it comes to elevation changes, so a good scout needs to be able to defy gravity in impressive fashion. In this test, all 10 scouts are put into the same gear with the fastest low gear and AWD and diff lock enabled where possible. The plan is to get to the top, and I try to drive as similar a line as I can, but the main thing is you'll see the speed difference and where each truck struggles. Water. There's no shortage of water in SnowRunner in the form of lakes, river crossing streams, and the sea, I think. All of it can ruin your day if the engine drowns, so for this test I have chucked on the tallest snorkel I can. Now some trucks float, others don't. Here's how each scout truck does. Now I won't ruin it too much, but yeah, the results are quite amusing and a little surprising. Stability. Another important trait for the best scout trucks is stability, because despite the fact you can usually save yourself when you tip over if you equip the autonomous scout winch, it's simply better not to. Plus, the more stable without add-ons, the more stable with them, in theory. This is a two-part test. One is a speed run down a steep and bouncy stretch of road. While my driving line varies, yes, what matters here is how confident the truck looks more than the speed. And obviously if it's very fast and looks confident, then yeah, it's obviously good in terms of stability. The second part, meanwhile, is driving up a ramp and seeing how easily the truck tips over. Now ideally I would have liked a ramp that I could adjust the height of, but sadly that isn't a thing. So what I've done is simply just to show you the way each truck behaves. It's not hugely scientific. You can't really tell too much about distance. I mean, you can see others do better, clearly, but there is one exception, as you will see, shall we say.